Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my two favorite prodigies, Lisa.
I can't even remember a single quote right now.
Off to a great start, and Nate.
It's obvious the one on the left is the best.
Good God, what has happened?
I have transformed into...
Yeah, has the thing taken over?
Yes, the thing is taking over.
So we did the thing.
Let it be known if Mitch and I go missing, it's because Nate brought the plague into our house.
That's more the grudge.
I know. I'm doing a grudge move.
Yeah, it's more grudge. You just sound like a very lackadaisical teenager.
I guess that's an insult. I don't know. Lisa's gonna have to do all my talking for me.
Oh, no problem.
This movie was the best.
Yeah, interestingly enough, after we did the thing, immediately I guess social media, because Facebook's always listening to you and everything, posted some website or whatever about a theory that that it's actually two different aliens and not just one. And
okay.
Since we're not spoiling that movie in this one, we'll have to maybe.
So it was like Thing versus Predator or something.
Sorta,
right?
Sorta, kinda.
Thing 1 versus Thing 2.
Like the premise is that the dog is a different creature than what they find at the station, kind of early in the movie. So I don't think it's right, but it is. If it were, it kind of gives it a kind of an interesting twist. But anyway,
I don't have a lot of voice, but what I always say: kill the dog as early in the movie as possible.
Of course,
and you don't have to worry about it.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe if you're another country, you just hire a Texas scientist to be your sharpshooter, because they just were terrible shots. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related question with our unsuspecting victim, who is, in this case, definitely not a horror movie fan. We packed them on the bus. We had several unsuspecting victims this time around. Put them on a bus, bought them tickets. Bus got here. They were apparently not on it anymore. I don't know what happened to them. So
maggots.
I thought I was an unsuspected victim. I cut off my own throat. This is what you get.
Yeah. So Lisa, you will be our main unsuspecting victim, our only unsuspecting victim.
As usual. For
this week's movie of the week, The Perfection, not The Prestige. Important that...
Ooh, that would be a great crossover, though.
Would be. Not super dissimilar movies. You could draw some parallels. Not many, but some. But yeah, so this movie just came out on Netflix, so we'll get into some of that first. But right before that, let's get into this week's debate question.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay, so in this movie, the two of the main characters are exceptional. Exceptional is probably not even a strong enough word, but cellists.
I can't think of any good.
Yeah,
any cellists.
Yeah, apparently one of them's like
Yo-Yo Ma. Is he played?
Yeah,
Yo-Yo Ma.
Yeah.
I could not think of any others.
It's all I know is Yo-Yo Ma, Kenny G. I mean, he's not a cellist. I just mean in terms of classical, like known for one specific instrument that is classical. I can name you guitar players all day, but
in this movie, Kenny G's never getting the note tattoo. I'm just telling you that right now. Probably a good thing.
Well, so let me ask you. Cellos are beautiful. instruments. Hell, I think the Wonder Woman theme that was really good was actually written on a cello. My question though is it really a scary instrument? And so what I want to know is, what do you think is the scariest instrument?
You start, Mitch. You never start. Go first.
Yeah, suck it.
The didgeridoo.
No.
What?
It is.
Like,
could you just imagine you're just wandering, you're just sitting alone in a dark house, and all of a sudden you hear.
I have a didgeridoo in my house. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, usually, and that goes to my point of, usually when you hear a didgeridoo, you know it's some Matthew McConaughey hippie dude coming after you. Nate, thank you for proving my point. Terrifying.
I think the didgeridoo is about as scary as like a vuvuzela. Like, it's just annoying. It's not really scary.
No.
Lisa, can you back me up on this? Didgeridoo
or didgeridoo?
It's always didgeridoo. I would probably say.
I don't know. We were drinking a lot when we were making our first album, and that sparked the genesis. Hey, we should throw a didgeridoo in the opening to the song. And we, sure enough, we spent an hour. None of us could play it, and then we just found a sample online and just used it. It's fine.
It's hard to play. I tried playing it like a couple of weeks ago.
No,
I'm terrible now.
No,
it's awful.
You still have the didgeridoo?
Yeah, it's in my house.
Are you teaching your son to?
No, little Danny's not. He's not getting didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo.
Like the opening is like as big as most of his face, so it's kind of hard.
Just put your whole face in there, son.
Yeah, exactly.
Get all in there.
It's like those big horns where they just blow through.
See, I go didgeridoo because I just think of the person who's attached to the didgeridoo as being more scary. So it's maybe not just necessarily the instrument, but
okay.
Maybe I could make the same case for like a flute or a flautist, but it's mostly because it'd be attached to a flautist. And that would be terrifying.
You said flautists
are terrifying.
That's so menacingly.
No one gravitates to the flute.
You know when you're at a football game.
Ron Burgundy.
You know you're at a football game, and then the marching band comes out, and then Mitch just runs. It's like there's so many flutes and piccolos. They're just smaller, more compact flutes. That's even more terrifying.
Not a fan. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, God, the whole marching band's terrifying, right? I mean, they move as one symbiotic unit as they're playing their instruments in this symphony of chaos and terror.
Jesus.
I think
didgeridoo in that. You want to change it to flute now?
No, I'm doing didgeridoo. I'm still sticking with that. I'm that's the hill I'm going to die on this week.
Yes.
Lisa.
I think there is no more classic horror instrument than the violin. You think back to all the really good soundtracks, Psycho, all that sort of Hitchcock era. That's all violin. Okay. You think to the episode of The Simpsons, when they think that Burns is, I think it's the one where they think Burns is the alien. And there's that bus with the orchestra on it, and then the violin just gets off by itself and keeps playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A violin can be very creepy.
Isn't the cello very similar but lower pitched? You're saying the higher pitched is scarier?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
More tense, more nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
All violin.
I don't even need a violin. They just get you.
I know.
Boom. Done.
Someone wiping the window? What happened?
Yeah.
that was good. That was really good.
Half of the movies you think are violins is squeegee based sound effects. They just got to pay one Foley artist with the squeegee, and that's all they do.
Yeah. Nate, how about you?
The violins are a fad. It's just like the last 50 some years in horror movies.
It's a little played out.
I think they're still used today all the time.
But what was the OG? What was the OG sound that told you that you were in a horror movie? Even before that, no, the theremin.
Oh shit!
You know what theremin is?
I know what a.
Okay, a lot of people haven't seen theremins.
Yes, I know what a theremin is.
Not common anymore, but.
And you're saying that is more used than the violin's just a fading trend?
It was used earlier.
Any person, if you just go, ooh, That is universal for scary ghost horror thing. My voice is so jacked right now. But you say
I was about to say, what noise is it making?
You say that to like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old kid, they instantly understand like, oh, what is this? Like, what is happening? You play violins, they're just like, that's annoying. Like that sound is universal. The theremin, only instrument that can give you that exact sound. Plus, it's an instrument that you play by not touching something, which is almost magic. So if you want to throw like evil science magic,
yeah, but you gotta learn. You gotta learn all the weird finger gesticulations and
that's
everything.
true.
You gotta
yeah, which is probably why
I'm doing the matinee right now.
Yeah.
Are you more scared of theremin players or flautists?
Ooh.
Oh no, theremin players. That's like
flautists can move.
If you haven't murdered somebody when you go to theremin school, like they just kick you out. Like they're just like this, you can't even be a part of this.
The problem with the theremin, I mean, again, they don't move anyway. They have to stay very still. They just have really weird things. I mean, there's more creepy than anything. I mean, flautists though, they hustle. They run all over the place. Instrument. Yeah,
Austin has, I forgot the name of it. It's that weekly music show in the morning.
Austin City Limits.
It's Austin City Limits, right? I was like, okay,
yeah.
The first time I ever saw this is probably informing this. I was staying in my aunt's house. I would watch Austin City Limits like most weeks. Mm-hmm. It was on the morning too for some reason. There was a band that played. Don't remember the name. This is a long time ago. The lead singer had a theremin, and it was a whole full band. There's a drummer. There's a guitarist. There's a bassist. The whole band had horse masks. Full horse masks on. and the dude, so they're just rocking out in horse masks. Lead singer is just jamming on this theremin. And that was the band. That was their thing. It was like a horse slip knot with a theremin. Horse knot. Slip horse.
I mean,
so Lisa, top that.
I was going to make a comment about how Austin that is, but and make a comment about that, but then I remembered that I just watched the new music video from Poppy today, Scary Mask, and it's pretty much that level of batshit crazy. So yeah,
okay.
That
thing about this horse band is that they were very serious. Like they were really going at it, like musicianship wise. But they had like the full horse mask. Like it was like with a neck. Like it was the full. It wasn't just like the front. It was like the whole thing.
You need to find this video and send it to me.
I need to find this. Anyway, that might have influenced my decision.
Okay. Well, those are our answers. The correct answer is, like chimes and a xylophone together. Creepy. I mean, that's Nightmare on Elm Street for you. But if you have a different answer, do let us know on our socials on TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre, Facebook, Instagram. You can email us at texaspodcastmassacre@gmail.com. Yeah, let us know what instrument terrifies you more. With that said, are you both ready to talk this movie?
Sure.
What she said, but one octave up.
Do we need to get you a theremin to play your...
I need an in-studio theremin.
Oh my God. All right. Well, this week's movie of the week is The Perfection.
What is happening to me? I'm burning up.
It's gonna be okay, Lizzie.
Oh, it's not. Oh, God, it's not. Listen to me. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with me.
Lizzie, I know. That's why we need to get you help.
I'm dying. I'm dying. What's happening? What's happening?
Oh, my God.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. What is it?
I don't know. What the fuck?
Okay, Lord. It's bugs. Help me! Help me, darling! Help me!
You know what you have to do?
happens now.
Lisa, as our unsuspecting victim, describe this batshit crazy movie. You're thinking. You're.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say.
How are you really kind of getting someone excited to watch this movie?
I don't know, because the only reason we watched this because Nate texted us and said, let's watch this. Yeah. So
followed by Lisa will hate this.
I only texted that to Mitch. So.
That's I don't ever look at who's in the yeah. I would just say this is M. Night Shyamalan's wet dream. Twists
and turns all over the place.
Twists, yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
All right. Nate, what can you tell us about Netflix's The Perfection?
This movie just came out on Netflix. So that's some information.
Yeah.
Movie was directed by Richard Shepard. He has directed some things. Man. So he's got a Twilight Zone episode, this new run.
Okay.
He's got The Wunderkind, the one with the kid who becomes president.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've seen that one.
I have not.
It's something. He did Girls, which is where he met Allison Williams. He did some episodes throughout that run. There's just a lot of nothing. One episode of 30 Rock, the pilot of Ugly Betty, only the pilot, nothing else. Yes. He
picked up.
He directed a movie called Inside Out. That was straight to video in 1991. Now, this movie is I'm looking at it. Playboy does to softcore sex films what HBO's Tales from the Crypt did for horror. That was the series, Inside Out. Think about this. He directed Inside Out 1 in 1991, but he also directed Inside Out 4 in 1992. So they were really cranking out these Inside Out movies. In between that, his first feature film was called The Linguini Incident. And that actually had like actual people in it. David Bowie, Rosanna Arquette, actual actors in between his Inside Out Playboy softcore movies. Now he's doing this, so it seems like it's a bump up.
Well, I mean, we'll get to
Dangerous Minds one episode to
the
this.
Playboy softcore experience really came in handy for part of this movie.
That is true. We got Allison Williams, who you will remember most famously from Girls and Get Out. More recently, she's been in a series of unfortunate events. That's also on Netflix.
She's also the live action Peter Pan.
She's also the live action Peter Pan. Yes. She played Peter Pan in Peter Pan Live. And that's mostly it. Some TV work. Now she's just getting into dark horror films.
Yeah.
You might as well just keep it going at this point. You also got Logan Browning, who is also a Netflix person. She's from Dear White People. She's in Power. She was in Powers, the TV show, and the Bratz movie, which I would classify as a horror film as well. Big pedigree. Last but not least, we got Steven Weber from Wings, but as Mitch would probably know, he was from The Shining. The Shining not remake, but the alternate take from the 90s that Stephen King liked a lot better than Stanley Kubrick's version, which is absolutely hilarious because it's terrible.
He was also in Dracula.
He was from
Dead
the
and
TV
Loving
version?
It.
Yes, the TV movie that he did, because Stephen King famously hated The Shining in Kubrick's version.
Yeah.
So he was Mr. Torrance in that version.
Yeah, he was.
And now he's a creep in this movie. So there you go.
Is that Dracula Dead and Loving It?
Dracula?
Yeah.
Dead and Loving
and he was in
It.
Dracula Dead and Loving It. Yes. Huge horror pedigree apparently for this guy. Plus, have you seen Wings? I mean, come on.
No, well,
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
There's not really much trivia for this movie because it just came out. It's on Netflix.
Did you catch the tag for this movie, Nate?
No, I actually did not do as much of my normal.
Here's the tagline for this movie.
Okay.
It's time to face the music.
That's great.
Is it?
That's real good.
Oh, it seems so hokey.
I think it's good.
You like
Lisa,
it? Lisa,
up or down? Lisa, up or down on this?
I will remain neutral.
It's time to face the music. That's great.
I like it actually.
Come on, that's good.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I lost a consensus. Yeah. So overall thoughts around this movie.
Okay, so this movie's on Netflix, so we're gonna ruin it. Everyone's got Netflix, so just go watch it.
Go watch it. Come back.
It's only an hour and a half.
It is 90 minutes. It is like tight 90 minutes.
Yeah,
it goes fast.
It goes real quick. What do you guys think this is? Oh, well, Lisa saw it, but it's a 6.2 in IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
Is in terms of what? Okay, I would say this movie's in like 3 parts. Well, actually, it has parts. It literally has parts. Crap.
Yeah.
But each of those parts,
four parts,
is almost like a different movie. Would you agree, Lisa? Like the tone wildly changes throughout the film.
Yeah,
wildly.
It was a poor man's Quentin Tarantino film. It's like if Quentin Tarantino and M. Night Shyamalan had a weird
Playboy does for music films what Quentin Tarantino did to talking dramas.
Like if they both adopted a kid and then like gave up halfway through and he became a director, that's effectively how this movie felt.
Yeah. So Lisa, I want to hear overall thoughts here because I'm excited to hear your opinion.
Isn't that horrible that Nate is excited to hear me talk about a movie he was pretty sure I was going to hate?
Well, this is a guy who, again, not 5 minutes ago said the dog should just get killed in the first 5 minutes of everything just to be safe.
Then you don't have to worry about it, Mitch. Then you can just like, all right, I don't have to worry.
Really can't wait till we do The Conjuring. That's going to be a fun conversation with you. Are you sure you're not going to throw Marley and me on the schedule? You know what? We're getting off track. Lisa.
Where's I Am Legend?
We're never doing that goddamn movie. You shut your face.
That one I actually was like, that's rough.
That's rough, you asshole. Oh, good.
What if it was a cat?
That was unintentional. Huh?
What if it was a cat?
Cats I don't care. The animals can all die in the movies. I don't care that much.
The good news if Nate pisses us off, we just make him laugh and then he'd be outside the studio coughing for the next half hour.
Basically.
All right, so Lisa, let's get to it. Your thoughts.
So I'll say this. As we're watching it, Mitch, in his very sweet attempt to protect me, said there were certain scenes that apparently made people vomit.
Whoa, really?
Get migraines.
Yeah.
What?
And the night that we watched it, I had the worst migraine. So he was like, let's just be careful. I don't want you to feel any worse.
Yeah.
The scene in question, namely where she's first like vomiting.
Yeah, she's throwing up pretty rough.
The best scene, yeah.
He's like, don't watch. And then I kind of peeked through my eyes. I was like, this is not that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I don't know if those people are just sensitive or if I'm so freaking desensitized from all the crap you guys have made me watch.
So I went
You're
to go.
welcome.
When you brought it up and you mentioned that it was very controversial, I didn't look up a whole lot about it. I Googled the name just to kind of see some news stories.
Yeah.
Because that usually gives you sort of an indication of what's going on, particularly. And so many of the articles were around like people like just being very disgusted and sickened physically by it. It really wasn't. Maybe we're desensitized.
I think
way
everyone
too much.
in their life is thrown up. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, but not maggots.
Well, it wasn't. Were there maggots?
Well, there were on the camera.
Look, think about this. Everyone's thrown up. Not everyone is like seeing a knife plunged in somebody's back. No one cares about slasher films anymore. Come on.
I don't disagree with you. We're look, if you've seen The Exorcist, this is Exorcist puking is much worse than this still.
So overall, I actually didn't mind the movie. I really didn't.
Okay.
There were things that I think could have been different. There were things that were a little rushed convoluted. I mean, they crammed this into 90 minutes. You know, Mitch and I were kind of talking about it. There's things we would have changed, just kind of tweaked. But overall, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning, they really let breathe.
Yeah.
And then
they started kind of
really picked up
Yeah.
pace wise. Really, really season 8 Game of Thrones esque.
Yeah.
Toward the end there.
I think, you know, I don't mind. I like twists, right? I mean, it's hard to find someone who's like, I fucking hate twists. Twists are terrible.
Which twist, man?
Well, that's kind of my point. I sometimes this movie makes you wonder, is it better to have a whole bunch of twists and do okay with them, or have one really great twist? Right? Like, more twists doesn't necessarily make it a better movie. And so some of the stuff felt a little rushed. And some of it too was just, to me, was super over the top.
Oh yeah,
to where it was just
really going
like it
for
was
it.
just like this is insane. It's not even.
It reminded me, to be honest. It reminded me when we just watched Zombie recently. It reminded me of like Italian ridiculous horror film esque in certain parts. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that until you're trying to also then try to tell me to take you very seriously as a movie or a message or anything. Then it's like, well, it's hard to, right?
Was it serious? It seemed like a B movie straight up to me. I didn't really have like
they were trying to, I think, have an allegory here, right? About
but it was more in terms of like, well, that's there, but like, what crazy shit can we do?
Sure,
like, okay,
sure.
let's throw that
Had it just
in.
been what crazy shit. I mean, largely to me, this movie is really a typical revenge horror film. Just like I Spit on Your Grave or Last House on the Left. But I think those movies, and we'll get into it, but I think those movies are better in that regard than this movie was.
Sure.
But that's not necessarily to say it was bad.
I kind of liked it. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not to say it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that up front.
So let's go through the movie.
Yeah.
Movie starts out.
Yeah.
Allison Williams is Charlotte. First shot of the movie, her dead mom. It's really like this is not going to be a happy film. But then it kind of turns into a happy film for a little bit, right? She gets back in the cello game.
Yeah.
She's apparently she was very good at cello. Dropped it all, take care of her mom. That was nice. Just randomly goes to Shanghai. Someone flew her to Shanghai. That was nice of him. She's a guest judge for the Chinese cello prodigies. I don't know what this competition even was. Does it even make sense?
Yeah.
It's like 3 cellists.
Well, you know, they said they had regional, so it was like the final round of.
Okay. It was. That's right. She just okay.
Yeah.
Then you got Lizzie, right? Lizzie is the one basically who replaced her in the young cello prodigy game. And they're the judges.
Yeah.
But they don't really care about judging it. They're like, okay, she's good. So let's just like flirt with each other.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
I mean, I did like this movie wasn't like starting off as both of them after each other sort of thing.
No. It's just like, oh, you're my idol. Like, oh, you're so good. It's like, you're gooder than good. It's like, no, but you though. But you though. You know, it was like that. But then it was basically just like, we're really flirting, like real hard.
Yeah.
And then we did a duet together. And then it was like, okay, like, how fast can we get out of here and just start banging? And then,
so I did
and then that's where the Playboy Inside Out stuff came in handy. So you're totally right on that one.
Yeah.
So I did see one article that was kind of annoyed at Netflix for labeling this an LGBTQ. I always say it wrong. Film, just because there was one scene with 2 girls. They're like, that doesn't really make it.
Well, they have a pretty interesting but committed relationship by the end of the movie.
Do they?
Yeah, that's pretty committed, I would say. I don't want to get into it right away, but it's close. It's close. I don't know. They rounded up, maybe. Maybe that was it.
I guess I don't know if their algorithm can really dictate. Like I don't know where do you differentiate what's an LGBTQ movie versus what isn't?
Yeah, I mean, it's not okay. I mean, it's better than like an 80s White Snake video where like two women are like rubbing against each other washing a car. I mean, it's past that.
Yeah.
That's a low bar.
Yeah. No, I mean, I certainly
sorry,
get it.
I want to alienate the White Snake fans. I pre-apologize for that.
My brother is upset at it.
Oh,
right
really?
now.
Dang, sorry.
Yeah, I totally get why people would have that view though. I just don't know. I don't know. I can't speak for Netflix. I just say
I think some people felt like they were just taking advantage. They're like, oh, if we tag it like this, we'll get more views.
Well, because everyone knows that the bustling Hollywood industry is all about those LGBTQ movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. It's everywhere.
And they're all
isn't the next Adam Sandler movie that? Isn't that what that is? Him and Kevin James just.
I mean, I think they already did that one, right?
They
I now pronounce you. Here's
this
okay.
one. This one is more LGBTQ.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Yes. So
I was gonna say,
if that's the bar, this has.
I was gonna say that's where you have to look. How does Netflix classify that one? If that one's LGBTQ, then
you know it's car. Okay,
yeah,
that's.
Yeah.
These internet sleuths.
God forbid we ever talk about anything serious.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I just don't know what to.
Yeah, I don't know if we're the arbiters.
Yeah, like
I don't know if we're the people
I know
who
y'all are not. So maybe.
Nate and I are the ones to give an opinion on this.
No. But I thought that was cool because her mom had died and she clearly had been taking care of her.
Okay,
so she got something good in her life.
Okay,
right
you mean it was cool that she?
Yes. Okay, and then so she was just like, oh yeah, you're the first person I've been with because she was all 100% into cello and then 100% taking care of her mom. I thought that was very nice. I liked that happened. And the beginning of the movie is just kind of like. You know, they're like exploring this relationship and then they're in China. They're taking this trip together. It's kind of whirlwind, but it seems cool.
But
go ahead, Lisa. I'm sorry.
I mean, we're totally into spoilers now. She did all that to manipulate her.
No. She did that to manipulate her.
Look, the minute that
she's
No.
You don't think she slept with her to gain her trust so she could feed her hallucinogens?
No. She ended up.
Boy.
No. She went to this thing.
Oh boy.
She ended up liking her, and because she liked her, then she did that.
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I will say.
I thought because she started liking her, that's when that.
See, I need to timestamp my notes because pretty early on I said she better be careful around Allison Williams before she takes her to meet her parents from Get Out. She's got some bidder who wants to be a world-class cellist. So.
Yeah.
She knew from the second they were on the balcony, okay, and they were talking, she had a plan in place.
See, I didn't think so. I thought it was later.
I think that she liked her. I mean, I think that I say liked her. I don't think she had any ill will toward this girl. I just think that I agree with Lisa. I think she had a plan to sort of take her away from this world. And when she said, oh, I can't ever leave it. And she gave the whole spiel and said all that, like the school motto, she was, I think that's when her plan went into place.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think it was because she liked her and then she was like, oh, well, it's fine. And then she's like, pushing back against her wanting to get out of that. And then she's like, well, I got to do this then because I like her. And it's the only person I've ever liked. So I'll just go for it.
Look, it's Allison Williams, man. She's already been electrotherapy. They already showed she had electrotherapy. So you already are like, just don't trust.
Obviously, the logic.
Don't trust
is
this
not,
bitch.
Well, I think her logic was rock solid. If you think about it at the end, what do you think, Lisa?
So
I think her reasoning.
Would you be
for
willing
wanting
to trick somebody into maiming themselves because you like them so much?
So twist number one. They decided to go on a bus.
Yeah, they're
going to go on like vacation in China.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. They get on a bus. Now Lizzie is feeling sick. She thinks she's hungover, but it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And then on the bus, she's throwing up. She's throwing up maggots. She almost
throwing up, and then she sees maggots in it. Yeah,
I think she shits on the bus pretty much.
No, she gets off. She makes it off the bus.
But he's like throwing water on the steps. I got the impression.
It's because she threw up.
Maybe it was just
yeah.
Some sort of bodily excrement comes off
during this movie. People throw up. People shit them like diarrhea and pee. Yeah. All of that is in this movie.
Yeah. And this long scene.
Yeah.
And then she is basically, they're thrown off the bus because she basically just having a freak out because of the sickness. She feels her head's like killing. She
bangs her head against the window. She starts
seeing like bugs, like, I mean, this is like, they found the same computer graphics engine that they made the first Mummy, like the Brendan Fraser one with to do the bugs in the arm. Yeah, the scarabs. Yeah. And Allison Williams is like, you got to cut off your hand with this hatchet that I just happen to have.
It was like a cleaver. Jeez.
A cleaver from a market that they
much more efficient than a hatchet for cutting off your own.
Which
hand.
Again, why is this bitch stealing cleavers, right?
She had the plant. Oh, it was obviously the plant. I'm just saying when the plan was hatched, I think was after she liked her.
So the twist, Nate.
Yeah.
Allison planned this all along to some degree.
Now
that we're arguing about.
You don't see her cut off her hand during this whole sequence, which is nightmarish. Then you basically realize, oh wait, Allison Williams was doing the same thing she did in Get Out with the fake car keys, looking for the car keys, the fake, like helping her get over her feeling bad. It was like the same move, and I think it was effective both times. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
she's good.
I'll tell you this. Allison, if I am ever like drowning and Allison Williams is there and she holds out a hand to help me, I'm going to think twice.
Yeah.
Because she might try to chop my hand off.
But anyway,
I will never trust Allison Williams.
How did you feel about the technique in the movie did where the hand gets cut off and then they do the rewind? How did you feel about that? That was a bold move. It's a really weird way to kind of flash. Like usually you just flash back, but they like did a full rewind.
It's been done before.
Well, no, I guess I think Nate's asking, what did you think that was sort of out of place in the movie?
No, it was like literally like rewinding, like the whole I
thought it was
20-minute scene.
Didn't bother me.
The movies don't really do that very often. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Normally you just
flash back.
Yeah, not serious like horror films or anything.
Yeah, I was like, did someone mess with the VCR? Like, what's happening?
Right.
Here?
Yeah, it was again one of those things. It was just sort of a weird decision. Not bad.
I didn't mind it. It was very interesting.
Not bad. Just like, all right. That's
and
twist.
They did it more than once.
Yeah, that's twist one.
They do it per twist.
So, Lisa, what did you think? Did this twist catch you off guard?
No.
You saw Get Out and you were like, Allison Williams, I'm no good.
I remember I said, I was like, oh, she drugged her. Yeah, I saw it coming.
Nate?
Now, the one hole in my theory is that she brought those pills with her, but they're her mom's pills.
Yeah.
She took them all the way from America to China. That's a little hole.
She was playing. I think where it hinged on when she asked her, would you, why don't you just leave? And she's like, no, I can't. It's
what expected
of us. And that's when she's like,
no. Okay. I got it. Her plan was to go after the dude at first.
That's maybe
and
after Anton.
When she liked her, she flipped it and decided to go with her to try to get her to
save her.
Yeah, to only one-on-one. Ooh. All right, good guy in the movie, Allison Williams.
But I guess she left her. I guess she left her on the side of the cliff because she needed. I can't remember the other character's name now. The one who got her hand chopped off. Lizzie needed to go back and see that Anton and whatever her name was were never gonna. They were just gonna say, okay, well, you're done.
Basically.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Nate, maybe you're right. Maybe she was going to attack him, and then she saw the music note tattoo.
That's what I'm saying.
And then maybe that's when
she like, oh, I like her. Like, I need to get her out of this. So we've glossed over the main plot point that there's this elite music academy.
Oh yeah,
in Boston, run by the dude from Wings.
Back off.
who is
what a terrible name
off.
because I keep thinking you're telling Nate to back off. I'm like, Jesus, Lisa, that's the thing.
Very
No, it's
passionate,
called the Back Off Institute.
Very passionate about wings. I can't besmirch the wings too. I'm not. I'm just saying he's from Wings. But so he runs this institute, and they just have a bunch of female cellists.
Mm-hmm.
But they come out of there, and they're like, it's the Juilliard of 9-year-old girls playing cello.
Well, it sounds like they have a few of them, but only like one at a time is sort of hand selected to be
the one,
the perfection.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so Lizzie gets her hand chopped off and is left on the side of the road in China.
Yep.
So that sucks.
And when she comes back, she is effectively pretty much kicked out. Like, yeah, that sucks about your hand. So there's the door.
Steven Weber said she should fly solo on this one.
Yeah. I mean, what did y'all think about just her sort of treatment, just being kicked out like that? I mean,
she was like, "I'll do anything. I'll scrub the toilets. I'll teach.
Lisa,
I'll compose. I'll do anything."
Play piano, classical piano.
No music.
I'm assuming
no music note tattoo.
Yeah, no music note
Okay,
tattoo. So that was good. I checked.
None of your business, really.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Okay.
So I mean, yeah, if you lost your hand because Nate gave you hallucinogens,
you'd never go challenge
and you
me.
chopped
It'd
it
be
off.
with Mitch. Mitch would be the one to get you to cut your hand off.
The point being, someone has gotten you to chop your hand off. Would they have kicked you out of there of like? Would they have been like, oh well, or would they be like, well, you could just do the bass.
Think about this.
Can't even.
Remember Def Leppard? Tonight. The drummer had one arm.
Yeah.
Of Def Leppard. The drummer had one arm. Def Leppard. You could do something. You could do something.
I have seen a one-handed bassist. Incredible.
Don't a lot of things need like weird percussion, like wood block, triangle, all that? You can do that one-handed, right?
Yeah, but he's talking about could I play the piano one-handed?
You could chopsticks.
Woo! of all the songs. Anyway.
Hashtag triggered.
All right, so but they wouldn't have kicked you out though, right? I mean, is this above? Like, is this a beyond the pale sort of?
This is like
reaction?
the elite.
But I mean,
music.
it's like if you're a gymnast and you break your leg beyond repair and you're done, are they going to kick you out? I mean, probably.
But you get that.
If you're literally going to live there and do that and live,
but if you were one of the best ever, though, you gotta be a coach. You could that. Right. They wouldn't even let her do that.
And that's why when she went, I was thinking, well, she can just teach. Now she can teach. That's fine. She'll teach. It's a little, and I thought in my head, it's a little harder to teach when you can't show them, but she could figure it out.
But she's supposed to be like the best cellist in the entire world. Yeah,
she could teach. So then when they were like, no, you can't teach. You know how we do it here? I was like, this is not good.
Yeah. Like real hands-on in this school.
So then,
literally.
Oh, God.
That hurt. That really hurt me.
So she goes all Kill Bill and decides to go find Allison Williams.
Yeah. Boston to Minneapolis.
Yep.
And
Minneapolis, right?
Yeah, Minneapolis. Yeah. I love Minneapolis. Minneapolis is great.
Okay.
Okay there.
Okay there.
So she got her inspiration from a Rihanna song.
Sorry. I would have appreciated if Allison Williams had more of a Minnesota accent.
That would have been great. Wait, are you saying what? Rihanna? Hold on.
Rihanna? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't stab her with an umbrella.
My money.
I thought she stabbed her with an umbrella.
Stuffed her in the trunk.
She did.
Did she run the city?
I'm sure she did.
I know many Rihanna songs. I'm really running.
Yeah,
really running out here.
Okay, so let's talk about the second twist.
Well, no, it's not really this. Well, she kidnaps her and brings her back to.
Right, kidnaps her, brings her back. You start to realize something very sinister is going on at this academy. Allison
Williams is sitting right across from him, and it's like,
yeah,
well, you cut her hand off, so you're not like in a good place. And he's like, well, she's not right in the head, and
because of all the torment she suffered here.
Yeah,
just like I did.
Like, well, you're not right. You made her cut her hand off, and then she's like, I'm gonna like expose what you did, and then he's like, I'm gonna basically chase you like a like a slasher film.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy to just pretty much just kind of just out and say like, oh yeah, well,
it's kind of laid out like I'm like you're bad and I'm gonna tell everybody. It's like
yeah,
but I'm in the place where you have all the control.
Yeah.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how
right.
it pays off.
I mean, I guess it was the plan all along.
But when you're watching it, you're just like, this is.
I know. When I was first watching, I was like, oh, she's.
Well, and she was
stuck.
She was kidnapped, but kidnapped. She was in the trunk of the car.
Yeah.
First of all, I said this while I was watching this: Minneapolis to Boston. That's a hell of a trunk ride. I Googled it. It's over 20 hours.
But was she in the trunk the whole time?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if that was the case, 20
she would've been
hours in the
dead.
trunk? No, you're fine for 20 hours.
In a trunk?
Yeah.
There's enough air in a trunk for 20 hours?
Yeah, there's airflow in the trunk.
I mean, if you sleep through most of it, you'll be fine. You know, it's
sleep, unconscious, whatever.
Yeah.
One of the two.
It's just as good as Coach.
It is only a very like short half step down from just basically being on tour. It is not a whole lot different.
It's almost like being sleeping in the back of a tour bus.
Yeah, which I did frequently
while bound. That way you won't wake yourself up.
I did not do it bound. That was
okay.
That's where you drew the line.
That's a new wrinkle.
That's a different tour, different type of tour.
Yeah. So
she's there.
So she basically confronts him about what the note piece is, which is how all these girls are effectively getting raped. Yeah.
Well, wow, you really glossed over this. The note means that you've graduated to playing in this one room. It's this like special room that is like a percussive, perfect area.
Acoustics.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to train at the school for years and years and years. And when you get there, you get this tattoo. But you get there and you practice. And when you get to that level, you're expected to not make any mistakes ever. And if you do make mistakes, the teachers then rape you.
The guy from Wing shows you his wang.
Everybody.
Come on.
Now, can I ask this?
Yeah.
What scene in horror movie history was more tense than the scene where he's like, if you screw up, I'm going to rape this little girl?
Oh, it was gross. It was very tense. So she wakes up from being punched by Lizzie after she's getting chased. She's in these super nice dress.
Yeah.
Like a red dress.
Concert dress.
Makeup on, hair done, like nice shoes. She's got the cello, and they're like, all right.
I got to tell you, it's such a weird comment to have about this, but trying to get little Damien dressed, who is a, 2 foot tall, like tyrant at this point, and who does not like to help.
But a full grown woman, they have no problem.
I can't get that. I can get him dressed easily.
Yeah, but she was knocked out.
But she's it's like dead weight that you're trying to move around and get a dress.
I changed my kid while he was asleep, and it was still not like the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
He weighs about 20 pounds.
It's just a dress.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
At least with a kid too, you can lift their legs up and get them a lot up. It's a multi-person event.
It's really getting weird here, right?
So I'm just mean you can move their body a little bit more to get the clothes on them when they're passed out, but
so while this is happening, then
impressed that they were able to get her full concert ready while she's just unconscious, and you don't even see a bruise anywhere.
You were impressed by the rapist's ability to put clothes and makeup and do hair.
You know what? I'm just gonna yes.
And that flashback, did you expect that? It's a twist. The school is a rape factory.
No, Mitch called that pretty early on too.
But that all the teachers rape you if you make one mistake.
Well, I didn't think it was all. Just the one.
It's all of them. It's all of them.
I know. I didn't catch. To be fair, I thought the two other guys were just the two guys you find out later. I thought they were just
Theus and Jeffrey.
Theus and Jeffrey were just
But the Lizzie was in on it and had done it before, and the wife was in on it. They all knew.
Well, Lizzie wasn't necessarily.
What do you mean Lizzie was in on it?
Lizzie wasn't in on it. It was just because of that one. It was just because of her.
But she she had a place there, and then they made her leave. She was there.
Yeah. But they raped her too.
Yeah.
I know, but I think she had also been participating in that.
No, I don't think so.
Because she was older. She was now graduated out of the training for that thing.
Brainwashed and cultified.
No, I know. She was so brainwashed. I think she was also doing it to other people.
No, I don't know.
I don't believe that
you
for
don't
1
think so?
second.
No.
No.
You sure?
No, there's no evidence to even support that.
Well, because she just went right into it.
You don't graduate and become a rapist at this point.
Yeah, yes, they all were students there. The 2 teachers and the dude were all students there and got raped. And then they became the heads of the school and then raped the other people.
I think Theus and Jeffrey did.
Yeah, they were students.
I think the woman, his wife or whatever, was just complicit. I don't know that she actually raped anybody, but she didn't
She
stop
might have
it.
just been complicit. But if you went through the school and then got to a certain level, I think then you were.
Well, but here's the thing. Okay, if we go with that, right, and we say that they graduated and became teachers, Lizzie's not a teacher. She had to have been a teacher in order.
But then Allison Williams, so she plays very amazingly. But they bring in the young Chinese cellist that they had said won the thing in the very beginning, and then he says basically with her right there, like, we're gonna do that to her if you mess up instead of you.
Yeah, and Lisa,
it is, and you were right. It is very.
It was
tense.
incredibly intense,
and she messes up a note pretty obviously, like at the very end, like 3 notes from the end or 4 notes from the end. It was so close.
Yeah, that was super intense.
That's a scene. That's a scene and a half.
Yeah.
Very
Luckily,
tense.
they don't. They send her to bed. So
and he's like, no, we don't rape people unless they're like really good.
I felt so bad for that little girl. She starts just clapping. She's like, yeah, that was so beautiful. Thank you. I was like,
great for that girl.
Well, I'm happy for her how this movie ends for her.
I felt great.
But not at the current time. I'm like, oh God.
So twist 2 was that. Then they're like, well, you know what this means? You messed up, so we have to rape you. So Lizzie just walks right up. So that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering. It seemed like it was just like, oh, I just walked up. They're not like, oh, you can't. You're not a teacher. Like, I don't. It seemed like she had done that before, but maybe even not. Okay.
No, I thought that was just because she was trying to show that like I'm getting my revenge on you, so I'm gonna jump in and do it now. You know, like
she was trying to fake them out.
I don't think she did that before.
I don't know. Where's the inside the episode afterward? But then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make this hurt more as much as it hurt cutting off my hand," which is real gross. Uses the C word. I'm not gonna use that, but gives real personal. Then the 2 rapist teacher guys just collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Are they?
She poisoned their drinks.
Are they dead?
Yeah.
I think it seemed like they were just.
No, they were poisoned.
They're poisoned, but were they dead or did they kill them after? Because with the
I think they were.
With the wife next, she was like drugged, but then they stabbed her to kill her.
Maybe she didn't drink as much of it, of the whiskey or whatever it was. I don't know.
Yeah,
because they have their ritual before they rape, and they used it against them, which is good. That was at least something positive. So then they team up to fight Wings. Lisa, if you were going to team up to fight Wings, would you have a better plan?
Yeah, it was kind of a sloppy fight.
So they poisoned everybody.
They almost lost.
They poisoned everybody.
I'm like, after all that, you're going to lose to this guy?
They poisoned everybody. They got a 2-on-1 and
still screwed it up.
literally practically lose.
Yeah.
It was not a great. The plan was great until they got into that room, and then they had nothing. No.
Look, you drove from Minnesota to Boston. You can't pick up a gun on the way.
You got a 20-hour drive to have a powwow. You know, you can talk this over. You're not. What else are you doing during that 20-hour drive?
Yeah.
Crossbow, gun, something.
Yeah, I think twist.
You're just launching. Cello bows. You're just flinging them. That would be
I think
awesome.
we glossed over. Did they use 2 different methods of flashbacks? So they used the taper wind for.
They used it a couple times.
For the first and the third twist. But the second twist where they're
flashback.
showing
Yeah.
the flashback, it was actually like a normal white light flashback into the room.
Yeah, when she was unconscious. Yeah.
Why not just go? They should have just stuck all 3.
Well, you can't rewind if you're unconscious. That's. I don't know how this works.
Yeah. So
okay, so they get Wings in the room, and then literally the entire plane goes to crap like instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up. I mean, what did you think about the first person camera or like the camera view on her face while the fight's happening? Another really interesting technique that you don't see very often. Yeah, it was kind of
a mess.
It's like Jason Bourne, but like not moving. Like Jason Bourne was the shaky cam kind of zoomed in on him. This was just like zoomed in, but like it was like almost like a GoPro. Like on I don't even know how to describe it. But you hear like the struggling happening. Why are they both not like trying to stab him at the same time? No clue. Again, the plan really it's like the classic Bruce Lee. It's like there's one person at a time, and he just keeps kicking them. Like it just doesn't like attack all at once.
Yeah.
So he ends up he has a cleaver in his like the classic clavicle cleaver.
Clavicle making another
the clavicle.
The cleaver making a second appearance in this movie.
Yeah, she's really great with it. The Lizzie, she's very effective with the 2 for 2 with the cleaver. Then there's a knife scramble. Wings gets the knife, destroys Allison Williams' arm.
Yeah, no one needed to see that.
Now, this is my question to you, Lisa. Which was worse, this or Gerald's game?
I don't think I watched the scene in Gerald's game.
You didn't watch it?
This one was pretty bad.
I think Gerald's game was worse.
Gerald's game. Oh, God.
But this...
Having flashbacks. Why would you bring that up?
This was a great... This was a contender.
Really bad.
This was very gory.
Just stabbed through the arm. Just
now, what was worse, this or the very end of this movie?
That was worse because that was just brutal.
That was super brutal.
So she just gives her arm up, and then while that's right after that happens, Lizzie comes in and knocks him out. And so you go, all right, well, they're just going to murder this dude for being a straight up running a rape academy.
Twist number 4.
And then we go to the twist 1. She made her cut her hand off because she was drugging her. Twist 2, all the teachers are rapists.
Yep.
Twist 3, they're working together. Twist 4, you kind of see them like stabbing, like at the end.
Yeah.
But they didn't kill him. No. They made him a quadriplegic.
Yeah, they cut off all his limbs.
And they sewed his eyes shut. They
sewed his eyes and his mouth shut, so all he had was his ears.
When Allison Williams was taking care of her mom, did she become a surgeon? Like what happened to allow this to be possible? She looked up how to make a tourniquet when she knew she was going to get her to cut her hand off.
Yeah.
Maybe she just kept researching on her way back from China.
This is my problem. I call bullshit on that first off. How many times have you Googled how to do something and it's just never gone? Like, you're like, oh, you watch some like 5-minute video on YouTube. Like, it's so simple.
How to make gunpowder and then you die.
Like half a day later, you're like, I just don't know what's different. Like, why won't this drywall patch itself? You just
self-patching drywall. Yeah. It was on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how this is possible, but here is twist 4 and it is a doozy. They have him set up in that perfect room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened to the students. Anyone? There's no teachers. This Chinese girl's like, I've been here for 2 weeks, Mom. This is so cool.
I mean, I guess they're all asleep at this point. I don't know how long this is all taking. You're right.
No, because she's had her arm amputated.
I don't think it was amputated.
No, it was. Her arm was gone.
Yeah, I thought her arm was fully gone.
It was straight gone.
At that scene again. I'm going to pull it up in a minute here. There's a bandage on her arm.
Because it's been amputated.
Because there's a stump there.
I don't think so.
It's just like there was a bandage on Liz's?
I'm going to look this up again.
Lizzie's arm had a bandage on it too, but when she cut her part off. Anyway, so no eyes, no mouth, all limbs gone, sitting in the chair he used to sit in. His ears are intact. They're on the perfection stage. And since her one lady's Lizzie's arm or hand is gone, Charlotte's arm is gone, they play a duet with each of their good hands, which happened to be the opposite conveniently.
How fortunate that they lost the right combination of limbs.
Yeah, the limb loss was...
Like, if this was their master plan, right? This is what they've been planning to do the entire time.
Do you think she threw her arm up to get stabbed?
So she lost her arm? Why?
Well, no, I mean...
It got fucking destroyed.
No.
Fix it?
No, I think...
Dude, it was freaking brutal.
It got fucking filleted.
It was like, I don't know.
But again, here's my thing. Like, this is their plan, was to sew him up and play and then play the music for him.
What if she had
lost the wrong arm? Like, the whole plan would have gone to shit. The plan in they're playing in the last third of this movie.
They just play a Spotify playlist, but like it's like not as good people, and then that's his
my
torture.
God, their torture should have just been like them fucking up every single note and him just losing his
just said.
Sorry, Lisa,
but they played together.
It just sounded better coming from me.
They played together, and it looked really deranged. Right? Didn't it look really creepy? Like their eyes were all big, just like,
and they're just like fucking him, like just
like Jesus,
like not looking. I don't know.
Lisa, what'd you think about twist 4? Let's do the twist. Fine. What was your favorite?
Was it really a twist? I mean,
the twist is they didn't kill him and they left him alive.
I don't really think it's a twist.
That's twisty. No? Yep.
I thought it kind of was.
What was your favorite twist out of the 4?
Not necessarily a good twist, but it's a twist.
Which twist twisted the twistiest?
I think the fact that she drugged her and got her to cut off her own hand on purpose was the twistiest twist.
Okay, so after that twist is like 30 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
So you're saying the
after
twist
that,
had declining value.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mitch? Best twist.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. I think her drugging her is probably the first twist. Number 1 is the best.
For me, the fact that everyone at the school was raping them and making them like brainwashed was the biggest twist for me. Because then it puts the other twist into context. I think that's why I liked it.
Did you see it coming though?
No. What?
Really?
The fact that the whole school like brainwashes everybody and all the teachers.
It's the same crappy setup.
They don't brainwash everyone, just whoever makes it to the room.
Academy run by a man with a bunch of girls. They've done it 1,000 times.
But he only does it in like search of perfection for the people that he deems worthy enough.
It's like his pathetic excuses to do these horrible things.
Oh, I 100% agree. Well, it wasn't his excuse. It was his grandfather who made the school.
Oh my God.
Imagine the generations of people that like
awful.
Oh my God.
Well, they keep showing all the I don't know why.
There's that wall of all the people.
Sound like I just hit puberty there. My voice just like changed.
Mine goes
but
real
all the
low,
I know, right? But
the
all the
wall of all the teachers with the students, that's really bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like I like that the revenge. I thought the revenge was not executed or planned well, but it was satisfying in the end. I would say, like they did it. no more class pictures are gonna happen anymore. It's basically over.
Yeah, I don't know how that girl's getting back to China.
I know.
I don't know. She knows how to get a hold of her
just
mom.
Sell the cellos that are there and just whatever.
At least wait a day. It's 24-hour flight at least. Anything else y'all want to say about this one?
No,
I think we really covered it.
Look, you could be a sewed up quadriplegic puppet that can only use one of your senses, but it could be worse.
Could be worse.
Not that bad.
For me, it's all about perspective. It's what you make of it.
All right, guys. How could this? I don't know why I went with him.
You just described like the worst scenario. How could it be worse? You can't hear. That's the only reason you just lose all the senses.
Well, I mean, I think Lisa said that they're fucking up the notes instead of actually like, or they're fucking playing like Milli Vanilli. Like it's like one of those like when they how they have those compilation like classic goes rock or something, and it's just like, but that would be cool. Like it's all like it's just fucking Smash Mouth.
Punk goes cello.
Yeah,
and you're just playing like power chords equivalent.
It's just all star.
What if
with her playing the all-star notes, but like just Alice in Wonderland just like staring at you.
Well, he can't see, so.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you know what, that why they do that. It's not, they're not getting any benefit from it.
Let's all pick the song that would annoy you the most on cello. It's probably the song that would annoy you the most just generally, but it has to have some sort of instrument that the cello can replicate. What if you had to listen for the rest of your life, which would be very short because these people are not surgeons, Barbie Girl on cello?
Oh, that's good. I mean, I think mine's going to be same era. I would say I'm blue. Badu bee badu da. Dabu dee dabu da. I believe I would die. Badu bee badu bye.
Wow, that is definitely worse. Where's Darude Sandstorm?
Anything off the Jock Jam 98 album. Lisa, what about you?
Quad City DJs.
Oh, I could
train. Oh, they're riding the
Quad
train.
City train. No, that'd be fine. I went hard when I saw Quad City DJs play live.
Yes, Lisa. What is the song?
If I hear another cover of Hurt, is that the name of that song?
Oh, 9 Inch Nails?
Yeah.
Really?
I can't even.
That's so disappointing. I know.
Worse?
I don't like the original. I don't like the Johnny Cash cover.
Worse than Barbie Girl?
Yes.
Wow.
I heard myself. Is that your theremin?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe what is the worst song with the instrument you picked in our debate?
I would go. Oh,
it would still be blue, but just a didgeridoo.
That I'm Blue song is you win. You win. I can't. That's unbeatable.
Now I have that fucking song in my head. I hate myself.
Yeah,
I'm so mad at myself for saying
rough.
that. Yeah, I mean, how could this be worse? Yeah, I mean, you could be hearing any of those songs.
Well, it could be worse. I think if Lizzie had like gone back, like betrayed the betrayal.
Yeah,
and then she would have just been trapped in that place. Who knows? I mean, that's real rough. So
yeah,
I guess it could be worse. Lisa, how could it be worse?
I don't know. This is brutal.
This is batshit crazy.
This was
movie.
really. I think it could have been worse if they had never found her after she lost her hand.
Mm-hmm.
If she was just stuck out there.
Just stuck in China.
She's just stuck in China. That would suck. Yeah.
Yeah. All those.
She knew some Chinese. She knew some Chinese.
Yeah,
she was fine. She actually knew Chinese, right?
Yeah. Maybe it would have been better. Maybe she just
speaking
stayed
Mandarin.
there.
Yeah, she was there. I mean,
man, way good for Alice Williams to just luck out on someone getting some like random sickness that's prevalent in southern China to help really sell that.
Yeah, that was a little convenient.
Twist. Maybe she knew. Maybe she's just been like paying attention to the global world, you know?
Yeah.
Also, how did she get back?
Oh,
Allison Williams. She abandons Lizzie and somehow she makes it back.
Get back.
Yeah.
No, she had cell phone signal. But she said she didn't. It's like Uber.
Yeah.
Like, hello. I'm at the side of a mountain. Like, oh, which mountain? Do you see me?
Just look for the girl with no hand.
Do you
You'll
see
find
me? No, different mountain. Go to the next mountain. That's where I'm at.
The girl with the music note tattoo.
Kind of similar, actually.
So, Nate, this movie's very definitely a horror film.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot of things.
But
the horror film was one of them.
Could it have worked as any other genre?
Okay, wheel of genre is spinning. So this movie, The Perfection, cello horror. Is that the genre it currently is?
Cello revenge horror, yeah.
Okay. A scary movie type spoof. Yeah. How do you? Wow, that is.
Where do you go with
that?
This?
Is tough. All right, Lisa, you're the classical pianist. Yeah, we're gonna lean heavy on how to spoof a cello horror movie.
I don't know that you can spoof this.
Well, I think that instead of the cello, they play kazoo. First off, that's
it's an elite kazoo.
That's Leslie Nielsen 101.
It's an elite kazoo school.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What's the instrument that goes?
A slide whistle.
A slide whistle.
That could be their duet. One's playing the slide whistle and one's playing the kazoo.
So when she cuts off her hand, it's just tons and tons of blood comes out.
Yeah, it just never stops.
And the teacher of the school is Marlon Wayans. We can already establish that, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Or do we get who's the Leslie Nielsen of now? You keep mentioning Leslie Nielsen now
because he's a national treasure.
Yeah, now you got to come up with now Leslie Nielsen.
Who is Leslie Nielsen today?
Is there? I mean that his brand of comedy isn't done so much anymore.
I don't know either. I'm trying who's an older dude.
That
what? Oh, it's a spoof. I was like, what if this movie instead of Steven Weber had Christopher Walken as the teacher? Jesus Christ, that would be terrifying.
You made a mistake.
Now you're gonna pay
the price,
or she'll pay, and her name's also Pay, and then everything is really.
Her name's Payway. Because that makes sense. Because in a spoof, they would totally.
They would exactly. Jeez. Oh man. We are really derailing here.
Yeah. I mean, that's largely how these spoof movies work, though, right? They just changed. It's the same movie. They just change elements.
Christopher Walken was in that. He was in a spoof movie about table tennis.
Mm-hmm.
So they could get him for this.
Yeah.
They could get him for a horror spoof movie, right? At this point.
Of course. Certainly I think you have to get rid of the rape part. It has to be something else.
Yes. I think so.
I don't know what that would be, though.
It's like massages. Oh, that's not great. That's not great.
No.
We need to go farther away.
Yeah.
Like a foot rub.
No.
I don't know why I'm on the massage part. Lisa, please chime in.
No, I'm not digging you out of this hole.
Chime in.
This is where I wanted to see where you're going to go with this spoof.
This is rough.
Like most of those spoof movies, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, this is a rough idea. It's like the spoof is it's like a classic rivalry, like 80s rivalry. You got to have a cello montage in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have, I don't know how you do the cut off the hand. It's like grab my strong hand. They kind of already did it.
Yeah.
With Chris Elliott.
Hold on. So they would have to, Allison Williams would have to lose her legs of the arms, and then they would have to do the whole, and then after they play, she goes, "Oh, you played so well. I'd love to give you an ovation, give you a hand.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a standing ovation instead?"
Oh my God.
Yes.
It would be great if at the end it was like Monty Python. And he didn't have any arms or legs, and he just kept
I'm at you.
He kept critiquing them about how they were not playing well. That would actually be good too. All right, what is the name of this spoof?
Oh,
it's The Perfection, but it's spelled with a K instead of a C, because then it's not perfect. No,
or The Mediocrity. I don't know.
Lisa, what do you got here?
I like with a K.
With a K? The Perfection?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, perfection's got to be misspelled.
Right? That has to happen. That's how it works. Where's Carmen Electra? What's Carmen Electra doing? She was in all those movies.
Was she?
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember
Anna Faris.
I remember 1 and 2. Yeah, I remember Anna Faris. I remember the first two.
Yeah. Marlon Wayans. You got all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Then there was the spoof on the spoofs. Remember?
It's funny that we've come full circle. You know what? You could still have the same guy because he was in Dracula Dead and Loving It. So it's just another. It's just another horror spoof.
He just hams it up.
Yeah,
because he was not doing that in this
and
movie.
Leslie Nielsen could also come back. Done.
We got a Leslie Nielsen hologram.
We're all for. It comes up back for full circle.
Leslie Neal has an Obi-Wan Kenobi-esque hologram at some point.
Yeah.
During when she's down, and then she has to train hard on the cello. Perfect.
Well, that was
Jesus.
that.
This has been an episode.
I still feel like that could probably still get greenlit. As bad as that was,
It's like the movie Pixels. It's like if you swap it out, you probably spent less money. You probably lost less money on this movie than Pixels.
Agreed.
So
agreed. With that said, let's get into our final cut.
Final cut.
Nate, because I need you to rest your voice for your death metal performance.
The final cut.
Yeah, I mean, right? That's pretty good, right?
Wow, that was like the claw dude from Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, I know.
That's solid.
My little Doom voice thing is,
I'll get you.
Holy shit.
Inspector Gadget.
Oh my God, that is
Inspector
really good.
I could have a whole conversation of of Dr. Claw and Elmo.
I just sound like when my voice gets weird, I just sound like a white dude Macy Gray. So it's not.
Yeah, it's a specific genre.
When I get sick, I really get I get the Macy Grays.
Yeah, I try to hide it. I swear.
My throat crumbles when I am here. I don't know.
All right, so Nate, what are you giving this?
I still don't know. I don't. Can I hear somebody else?
All right. I'll go first.
I'm really on the fence, which never happens.
I'll go first. So this movie's fine. It's not a bad movie.
Are you saying it's not perfect?
It's not. It did not achieve the perfection. There were many mistakes.
Oh my God!
And they must pay the price, Nate.
This is so creepy.
No, I just, like I said at the top of the show, I just think that for a revenge film, while the ending, while the revenge they get is satisfying, it's not near as planned. And I just feel like if that's the kind of movie you're wanting, I think there are. Again, classics like I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left. Even
those are a little more exploitative. That this is a little more realistic until like the last third of the movie.
So much more over the top.
And with the last third of the movie,
where she hid that cleaver the entire bus ride, Nate.
She had it in her bag. She had a backpack.
Nate,
she had a backpack.
Nate,
backpack.
No.
Yes.
No. Your sickness is making you delusional. Don't be down with the sickness.
I'm never
Nate.
taking pills from either of you guys ever. I just want to throw. It's never happening. I'm looking at the bottle.
You thought it wasn't weird that Mitch offered you tea when you first got here?
You're doing the get out spitting tea thing. You didn't tap. I didn't hear any taps or anything. I think I'm okay.
So again,
although that would have been awesome if Allison Williams offered her tea though. That actually would have been pretty cool. Like, remember that Better movie?
Yeah. It was a little over the top. I think I could have done with maybe one or two less twists.
You're really hung up on the twist.
Well, because in a 90-minute movie, they don't the later ones don't hit as hard, right? It's just like it just feels convenient after a point. I mean, so she's in on it the whole time. Okay,
it's like a roller coaster. The first drop is the biggest, and then you still have some nice twisty turns that help you
never
finish the ride.
remember the other drops. You only remember the first one.
Like a little corkscrew.
I just think you should do one twist really well, and then maybe throw in a second one if you really think it helps.
Okay, so you're stuck on 2 twists max.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's just my personal preference. Anyway, I think I'm going to give this movie 6 out of 10 tattoos.
Oh, that's pretty high.
It's not a bad movie. My issues notwithstanding, it's not like it's a bad movie. It's just a little too over the top for me. But that's not to say someone wouldn't enjoy that.
So will you watch this again?
No,
never. Not
never. I just if the way I sort of view it is if someone wanted to watch it, I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm going to another room.
All right, Mom, let's watch this.
I'm not going to voluntarily watch this again.
Okay.
If it is on though, I can sit through it again and not be like miserable. Yeah.
All right, Lisa, how do you feel?
I don't know. I think I was more up on it until I talked with you guys.
Sounds right. That tracks.
Normally we're trying to like we try to break.
Now kind of brought it down.
Now we're the albatross around your neck.
Yeah.
Always.
Sometimes the albatross flies. You know, it like brings your neck up. Sometimes.
What?
I don't know.
That'd have been better for the thing.
It would have been. It really
anyway,
would have been.
I'll probably give it a middle of the road 5 out of 10 music notes.
Okay.
It's all right.
All right.
I would walk out of the room if someone put it back on, though.
You would?
I have no
Okay,
desire to watch it
I'm
again.
out on this. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Nate, you wanted us to sway you, and we gave you middle of the road scores.
Yeah. I like the ideas better than the execution.
Yeah.
I think Allison Williams has got a pretty good niche here. She's right. Can we agree that the acting of her was like acting was real solid?
I thought the acting all around was good. No one was acting poor. Like no one really stuck out as a.
How many characters are in this movie? Like 10. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty small, but she's really believable and good in these types of roles. So I think she should just keep doing it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of horror films coming out. What's Conjuring 3? Just get a Conjuring 3 role. Go on Sabrina. She's already in the Netflix. She's in the Netflix vortex now.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure they'll have a lot of horror films coming up.
Yeah.
I like the twist. I thought the second twist was my favorite of the twists. And then there's so many twists. I don't mind extra twists. It almost reminded. This is a ridiculous comparison. It reminded me of Clue. At the end, like so many things happen so fast. You're just like, what is happening? Like this is insane.
Well, but that's only in the movie, like in the after theater version.
Yes,
right?
correct.
But to my point about the twist, I love Clue as well. Clue's one of my favorite movies ever.
Clue's got a double twist.
It does, but at the same time, there's enough time between them that they land better. This one I think just feels rushed, particularly toward the end.
It is. I agree.
So the first one because it builds up so well, but then the other ones are like, I guess okay.
I like Clue better than this movie. It's not a surprising take. I would probably start fighting if I said it was better, but no, probably. I will also give it 6 out of 10 cleavers.
That feels right.
It's ambitious and weird enough that it gets like an extra maybe 1 or 2 points from me.
Yeah. I think in more capable
not a lot
hands.
of movies. Not a lot of this is a movie that is like nothing else.
Yeah.
In its totality, there are parts of things you can't make a new movie. There's no like new movies anymore, right? Like there's all the ideas that kind of happen, but how you combine them, this is like a batshit crazy blender of just craziness.
Yep. Agreed.
And I like that. It's kind of. It reminds me, man, this is another terrible comparison. It reminds me of Mandy almost.
Yeah.
It's like, what is like, why one, the cello is the chainsaw of musical instruments is maybe how I would describe it.
Mega chainsaw.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I think you sold me. If this movie had Nicolas Cage, I would have probably put it.
Oh my God. Nick Cage, dude. He's already in 100 movies a year. Let's give him a break.
Right.
He has to pay for those castles. So.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here. Nate, where can they find us for more perfection?
You can find our very unperfect website at TexasPodcastMassacre.com. But we're working on it in very consensual means. So don't worry about that. On Twitter at TX Pod Massacre. You can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on Instagram. We're on all your podcast platforms. And if you want to be really nice, because I am feeling a little under the weather, you can give us an iTunes review. We'd really appreciate it.
For every good iTunes review, Nate gets a little bit better.
Yeah. I'm like reverse Samsoning.
Yeah.
Once the more reviews we gain, the stronger I become.
Yep. Nope. Those just help us. The only reason we push it, those help us get to new listeners, so we can start talking to more of y'all on social media.
It's basically a Lisa support group.
We're basically just trying to get more Lisa club members, Lisa fan club members.
The Lisa Crisis Center featured or by Texas Podcast Massacre.
Yeah. Lisa, at any point in your life, did you think this is what people would know you for?
Yes.
I appreciate the support. I really do.
Like I already told you like 5 years ago, like people are sending
all of you who keep saying you want to see me watch Brightburn because you know it's going to be horrible and I'm going to hate it. I have mixed feelings because one, thanks for listening and supporting me. Two, really don't encourage this.
Is Elizabeth Banks, the guy from The Office, Roy? Yeah.
So
Roy's there.
That's gonna make it better.
I don't know. Maybe
Roy tried to punch Jim.
Yeah.
Never forget. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this.
Hashtag the North remembers.
Right, oh God, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.